Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to not another video for Project Cars. I'm here on Project Cars 2 here to do a review about not a car but a movie actually. So I'm in an Aston Martin and there was a movie that was released about 4 days ago. So I wanted you guys to guess, just what type of movie it was. Was it a racing movie? Was it a... No, it wasn't Ford versus Ferrari. No, it wasn't Ford versus Ferrari. Because, Kyle Shelby did drive in one of these in the 1950s, and he did win the 1959 Le Mans, but that's not the reason why I am reviewing this. This car probably put Aston Martin on the map as some pretty drop-dead gorgeous looking sports cars, but they also made a certain secret agent look pretty good. I'm talking about James Bond. So, and this car has a straight six that would eventually evolve into the DB5 straight six, and the DB3, which was a little younger than this car, was actually actually there was a DB3 in one of the novels, but not in one of the movies. So if you read Goldfinger, since it was 1950s, the only car available back then was actually the DB3. So, and this is a evolution of that with a 3-liter V straight six with about 260 horsepower. So, and capable of 165 miles an hour. But I'm not about here to talk about the car. I'm here to talk about the movie. So, I saw No Time to Die on Monday, and I'm going to tell you my review on it. So, just to preface this, I've seen all the James Bond movies that Daniel Craig has been in. I've seen everything from... I actually saw 4 of the 5 movies in theaters. So I saw Skyfall, Quantum, Casino Royale, and No Time to Die in theaters. I did not see Spectre in theaters because a lot of people told me it was bad. I didn't think it was a bad movie. I thought it was pretty screwed up, but Craig's it wasn't as bad as Quantum. I'll tell you that. It wasn't as bad as Quantum. Quantum was kind of baloney, but yeah. So let's get right to it. So I went into this movie thinking, oh, it's his final movie. They're probably gonna pull out all the stops. So what did I think of it? So, Daniel Craig's final Bond movie. What did I think of it? Well, I was expecting him to go with a bang, but not a literal bang. So yeah. So the movie starts out with him, on a, him in Italy, and he's enjoying time with Madeline Swan, of course, his love interest from the last movie. And typical James Bond stuff. They talk. He's usually banging the chick, usually, and they're sitting there and they're talking about secrets, and she's telling him to let go of the past and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, I gotta visit Vesper's grave, and yada yada yada. And her team blows up, and that starts the movie. So, and I think we're gonna kill the Spectre thing off finally. So, one thing I will say, the running time is acceptable. 2 hours and 43 minutes. You know, it's... I know a lot of people will be saying, oh, the only movie that's supposed to stretch out that far is a Marvel movie. Well, Marvel movies are great, but there's only so many times I can listen to Robert Downey Jr. fly off in the sky and fly with his artificial heart and all that other stuff. Don't get me wrong, Marvel movies are genius, but this is a Marvel movie. It's a James Bond movie, so... And they've got long over the years, so 2 hours and 43 minutes is a long movie. They could have done it in 2, but you know what? First Final One, they kind of had to with the way how things were going. So, after that, you know, he works kind of under the British government's thing because, you know, there's a new 007. He thinks he betrays her. She betrayed him, and Madeline Swan betrayed him and let him know where they were. And you're gonna see that it was a bunch of baloney as you go through. And he you know, he sends her on the train. And oh yeah, by the way, the pre-action car fight sequence with the DB5, if I may say so myself, that is how a DB5 should be driven, and that's how gadgets should be. The car should be just driven unapologetically like that all the time. Nice machine guns, some smoke screen, some car bombs, some bombs, and bulletproof cops up the yin yang. And I kind of like it how he just sits there and he goes like, oh, why don't you tell me your secrets and then maybe I'll kill these guys. She goes, I'll tell you, but get me out of here. And I'm like, and then, you know, she sits there and he sends her on the train and pre-title sequence starts, which I like the pre-title sequences, don't get me wrong, kind of set the mood for the movie, but the song could have been a little bit more dramatic and stuff like that. But Billie Eilish, you know, modern singer, you know, they could have gotten somebody more classic, but I like the visuals on the movie sequence. I just wish they put a better singer to the name. I mean, Shirley Bassey, who sings Goldfinger and a bunch of other songs, like she sings Goldfinger, Diamonds Are Forever, and Moonraker. I'm pretty sure they could have brought her out and she could have belted out a song no problem. But, and then eventually he retires for 5 years, and I thought that was pretty good. They did a little bit of a time skip. You know, he just goes off the grid. He's living in the he's living out in some island on his little sailboat that we see him on all the time. And of course Felix Leiter goes, he's like James, buddy, do you want to go on a mission? I know you're itching for one. I am. And then the next 2 hours basically is a slog of him figuring out, you know, about, and then they talk about, it's, you know, they find one of the Spectre agents, and stuff like that. Oh yeah, in the sequence where Madeline was killed by that masked guy, I'll have to say it was pretty interesting. Kind of sets up the movie well. And her having the nightmares, it's kind of funny. She's a social psychiatrist. She's a psychiatrist slash she's a psychotherapist in the movie. So it's pretty interesting that she, you know, she has episodes herself because, well, even the professionals have them. And it goes to show that your demons come back to haunt you, and you don't know it yet, but you kind of see where this is gonna go, and you're probably like, how does this tie in? Stuff like this, and you know, you kind of see where Swan and Bond have their pasts, and they're kind of hidden, and you'll see how they'll turn into the main villain. As for the action, when they're in Cuba, the 007, the agent that is beside Bond, Palmo or whatever her name is. What an agent. I thought she was pretty good, actually. It's good to see that they actually have women, you know, play the roles the right way. You know, they had her nervous, but as soon as she got right back into it, she was absolutely stunning. And the Cuban actress did the Spanish actress did a very good job of doing that. Like some of her moves, and you know, it's good to see James Bond fight side a strong but very capable woman, and it's not all flashy like Brie Larson and the rest of the Marvel females that think they're the hot stuff, which I can't stand. So, and then he goes on, and then of course we get, what I thought was pretty interesting was they had this virus, this contagious virus that was genetically modified with nanobots. I thought that was pretty interesting. That they actually tackled nanobots, nanotechnology, and everything or nothing. It's a video game from 2005, 2006. I played it. Great game. Great story. But this time it's kind of funny that they do it in the middle of a kind of a time frame when when they have a virus going on right now that's contagious. And it's good that James Bond still hasn't lost their touch. Like the James Bond series hasn't been afraid to do that. I mean, come on, they did Cold War tensions, and they've done Cold War tensions and during the Cold War era. So I'm actually good to see that they're still pressing buttons like that. And they've having a female lead as Lynch, Lashana Lynch. I thought it was pretty interesting. They had a strong female officer Bond that worked with him following the Spanish girl did very working with him, and they put it nicely. And I think it was a nice touch that at the end of the flick that she gave him the title back so he could do that one final mission. And the score, I'll get to that in a minute, but and they visit, we get to see Blofeld again, and of course he dies, which it was very tense. It was like two old friends, or two old lovers, kind of tension. The tension was kind of that, like kind of friends just going at it, and like two old lovers having a quarrel. In a way, it was just very good. The way how everything was, and Daniel Craig was kind of a silent guy, and he wasn't very talkative, but he's really got he's really good at what the British do well, and that's emotional acting. They definitely got the tension and everything like that, and he's. And it's still, even though it's funny how his enemies and his allies can sit there like, oh, Spectre's tied into it, so, and, it's good to see that he gets reinstated, and, they play on United Secret Service, put Bosch from on United Secret Service, which was nice. There's a bunch of Easter eggs, like they show Brown, Robert Brown, who's M back in the 80s after Bernard Lee died, and then They had not the guy that subbed in after Bernard died, you know, and after Moonraker. So it's nice that they pay tribute to James Judi Dench, who was killed off as M, and you're gonna see a lot of killing off. If you guys haven't seen the movie, please do. Jeffrey Wright does pretty good for the role he plays. He's kind of reliable, Felix Leiter, and it's good to see that M still sees him as a reliable source, even though he's American. And like his partner, though, his partner was a little edgy, and I thought he was like, oh, here's another American kid who doesn't know what he's doing. Eventually, you know, we figure out that he's with the organization that's trying to ruin Bond again. I thought the music was really good. Hans Zimmer really did the action sequences, and it really paid well to when they were fighting at the final sequence. I mean, in any sequence, he was doing good. If you guys don't know who Hans Zimmer is, he's done a bunch of games, he's done Batman movies, so he does a lot of good instant music, or incidental music, you know, it reminds me of, you know, Doctor Who. The Doctor Who composers did very good incidental music in those moments when they revealed the villain or the bad guy of the story or something like that. You know, there's always those sound effects. Yeah, he's done a bunch of stuff, but Hans Zimmer did a really good job on the score. I would have much liked him. What would have been cooler is if he did the score. They did an old school score with Shirley Bassey, and she would have done that also well. I'm just going to say that my friend Tom, did a little bit of a movie sort of practice for this one last night. So thanks to him for kind of warming up my vocal cords here. And I know he likes Aston Martins, so I hope Tom will like this. Can you play the typical British weather? And you know, the action sequences were pretty good. You know, Bond had and it's good that they gave the women, and I'm just gonna say this, I'm not woke or anything, just don't show me, but I think the women had pretty good doing in this flick, and they didn't really overpower Bond. They really showed their presence. I'm gonna say, I mean, having the girl in Cuba, definitely did the job. And what's really interesting is I don't know if you guys noticed this, but throughout the movie, he's you know, he always seems to have a chip on his shoulder, and he always seems to want to get the Spectre guys. I mean, he does get his main man. He always does. He always gets his main guys. He always seems to get his main guys, and he always seems to get the girls. So, what's funny is he shows back up to Madeline's place after 5 years. And the V Advantage, I should say, and it's good to have the V Advantage back. I mentioned this, the Aston Martin DB5 makes an appearance, the V Advantage from the Living Daylights makes an appearance, the Aston Martin DBS Super Leggera, which is driven by Lashana Lynch, and it's nice that they put the sleek African-British girl in the sleek car. Sort of fits her persona a little bit. She's very efficient, very good, stylish. I think they actually did pretty good actually doing that. Again, I'm not being woke here, I'm just saying, you know, it's good they match her character to Bond very well. So, and she has the same feeling as all the other women do. They want to kick his butt. So if I was a girl and I worked with James Bond, I definitely want to kick his butt to test him, see how tough he is, you know. But And then there was the Aston Martin Valhalla, which did not get driven, but it was shown in the back. It's kind of a preview to the future of the brand, if the brand decides to continue, which I think it will. We'll see where it goes from there on in. So, the score was very good. The acting was very British and very, very emotional, I thought. There's a couple of points when it comes in handy when Bond's fighting people. There's also there's a bit of a John Wick style sequence when he's fighting the last layer and he's trying to down the Heracles virus, which is probably well-engineered plot. It's not implausible, seeing as that we know it's not implausible now because we have a pandemic going on. So I think it's kind of tongue-in-cheek at the time, but you know what? As I said, James Bond really doesn't give a crap about that. What they did do, though, is they kind of toned down the power and the kind of influence Bond had with women and stuff like that. I mean, still, he doesn't mind getting in bed with them, of course, but he kind of reserves that for Madeline, mostly. Really Seydoux, the French girl. Very pretty girl, by the way. I've always liked her look. She's very mysterious. And it's funny that she's the daughter of a man who he hated. And then there's, of course, we find out the man, Rami Malek. And Rami Malek played Saffron pretty darn good. He was creepy. He was very edgy, but he played a creep. But he played that. He reminds me of Christoph Waltz when he plays the German commander in Inglourious Basterds, and it's actually funny because Christoph Waltz actually plays the same type of character, so Saffron, of course, he's going to play it the same way. And Rami Malek it does pretty good from, you learn how, Mr. White, knocked off him and his family, left him deformed, and actually did pretty good. Kind of an ode to Blofeld a little bit. Having his face deformed and having a scar in that one. And a bunch of other things. And I actually liked it that, that they actually gave Bond sort of a love story and stuff like that. I mean, come on, 5 years and he asks who the kid is, and he sees the blue eyes, and Craig's got the blue eyes, so they were like, okay, so there must have been something going on that was happening. So obviously that's his kid. And she's actually pretty brave in the film. She doesn't scream a heck of a lot, and I kind of see how she gets that from her mom, who's a psychoanalyst and a psychotherapist, and James Bond, who's probably the toughest guy around, probably. Not probably, but the toughest one around, period. So they definitely give her good acting, and props to the child actor that actually did well. I mean, most 5-year-olds getting in a car getting shot at would be pretty scary, but seeing as she's the daughter of 007, I kind of thought she did very well. For those of you who are asking, what did I think of Lashana Lynch? I thought she was very good to play. I shouldn't say, it kind of like gave you a fold of what Bond would be like if she was female. It's sort of like Doctor Who. And Doctor Who's played by Jodie Whittaker, who I've actually seen play, and I think she's pretty interesting. They were hinting at a female doctor for ages, but they finally did it, which I think is good for thinking of Stephen Moffat and such. So yeah. I think overall, I like the film, and I thought it was very well done, and it's doing pretty good budget-wise for being in a pandemic era. I mean, it was like 15 people in the theater, so and it was a Monday, so people were, so it was kind of a school night, but and I thought it was pretty cool. And oh yeah, but I kind of have to address another one, but there's kind of an explosive ending at the end for those of you who didn't watch it. Bond meets a kind of a fate worse than death, and there's also a scene where, you know, they're paying tribute to 007, and you know, seeing as Daniel Craig was in there a long time, it was kind of a fitting end for him. I think he kind of wanted to kind of go out with a bang, and he did. So, but I won't say how. You guys will have to watch the movies yourselves. Either you can rent it or stream it. You can rent it, stream it, whatever you can do. You can pay the $14, $15 wherever you are, or whatever the price is, whatever you are around the world. And you can watch probably, it was a very well put together movie. I thought it did very well. Numbers don't mean anything. Just because a movie makes 300 doesn't break even. The fact that it has made $300 million in its first 2 weeks, its first 2 weeks is pretty darn good. So I think the movie hit its marks. I think it was amazing action. The music was great. The acting was sublime. I thought that the final fight sequence was super. I thought it, you know, it had a fusion of different movies, and sort of, you know, he's working off the grid a little bit, so there's a little bit of Timothy Dalton in there, hence why he has the advantage, and there's a little bit of Sean Connery, also a little bit of Lazenby because he just visits the grave. A little bit of revenge that's mostly with Brosnan and stuff like that, and you know there's a bunch, and with the whole virus getting made thing, you have unmanaged Secret Service. It's actually funny that they actually had a virus. They had a thing that would make the world sterile and stuff like that, and it kind of has a unmanaged Secret Service type feel, and Moonraker type feel. Is kind of like Moonraker a little bit. So yeah, I think the movie was good. I give it an A+. I know there's some people that are in the community out there that are probably like, oh no, now this is my unbiased review. I think it was a really good film. I think it had its weak points, but you know what? I think the action, it was well put together, and I thought I think in 2 hours and 43 minutes, I think it did what it needed to do, and it definitely did correct the ending. Somewhat controversial, but I think it was fine. So. Shut the car off, and so yeah, guys, that is my full review of James Bond 007 No Time to Die, Daniel Craig's final Bond movie. I hope you guys enjoyed the review and some of my wet weather driving in the Aston Martin DBR1/300, the 300 meaning 3 liters. So yeah, I thought I'd have it in British racing green with blue, seeing as Daniel Craig has blue eyes. So, and hope you guys are enjoying this review. If you guys want to know what game this is, it's Project Cars 2. It's on a mod. And this car you get from the get-go. So, just want to give you a little bit of interior shot of this great vehicle. Let's kick it up and turn it off. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and Hope you guys enjoy your week, and I will see you guys in... Oh yeah, by the way, this is radio episode 241, so I'll see you guys later, and as usual, everybody, long live America, God bless America, long live democracy, long live our freedoms and our rights. Pray for those out there that need assistance, and for those who are trying to find themselves, those who are stuck with COVID, hopefully you guys get over that, and pray for all my friends, pray for Tom, Megan, them all stay strong, and I will see you guys later. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thank you, and good night for everything.